year is 2020. There's a pandemic outside. There are leaders who shouldn't be leaders who are leading, and there are people who should be leading who aren't leading. There are people who are running around screaming, wailing, doing the whole gnashing of teeth business. They're being wild, let's be honest. They're being crazy, is what they're doing. And that's sad. Maybe it's a little bit more than sad. But it is what it is, isn't it? There's nothing we can do to change it, and that's okay. And that kind of statement, it is what it is, man, there's nothing we can do to save it, or to change it, or to do anything about it, man, we just gotta live life. That's one of those statements that people look at and say, man, that's deep, or man, you so wise for saying that. And is it wise? Perhaps. Perhaps it is wise to acknowledge that you cannot change certain things in your environment. This pandemic is going on, and unless you have some kind of way to make, I don't know, a cure, if you can make a cure, then no, there's really nothing nothing you can do about it. You can change things in your immediate environment, sure, but you can't change anything outside of that. But whenever people begin to verbalize that over and over and over again, it's like every time you see them, and you know these kinds of people that I'm talking about. You've met them. You've talked with them. You have gone home and thought, oh, thank the Lord that meeting is over. Or thank God I get to go home now. You have met these kinds of people. Now there's nothing wrong with, having that mentality in life, that mentality of it is what it is, man. There's nothing I can really do to change it. But when you're in a conversation and every 5 minutes, man, it just is what it is, just is what it is, just is what it is, dude, shut up, okay? That's my advice to you. Shut up. Because what you're doing is you're trying to be this kind of person that when you die, people will remember you. People will tell tales of, yeah, man, Cletus, he was just so chill, man. Nothing ever got to him, man. Or they run around and they're like, man, Dick the Hick, he was a good man, good old Richard, but man, that boy could put away the beverages, the drinks, like nobody's business. Or they run around and they say, man, so and so, who's he, what's it, anyone was just so chill, or they could just do this so much. And there's nothing wrong with being able to do party tricks. There's nothing wrong with being super chill. But if your goal in life is to make people remember you and say, wow, yeah, he was just so chill. He was just a great friend of mine. He was just so this and so that. You've got a problem. Okay? And that problem is that you're trying to be profound. Everybody wants to be profound, so don't feel bad about it. Everybody wants it. Everybody wants just a taste of immortality. And not the immortality you get from putting your voice on the internet or taking a picture of yourself and putting it in a frame above the mantle, or making a video and then putting that video up in the attic for 40 some odd years for your children to come back to and bring down to their grandchildren and say, this is how life was when I was young. There's not, that's immortality, but there's nothing quite like the immortality of per se being written down, not just by your family members, not just being written down by your friends in their journals at night, but whenever you wake up, and you find out, oh no, I'm dead, and you're up there at the pearly gates, and St. Peter says, well, congrats, you went down in history, people are singing songs about you, you're being written about in the history books. Something like George Washington. I think most, at least Americans, can tell you who George Washington was. And if they can't, well, that does show you a little bit about our education system. But I'm not going to go there today. I've already got a video on that, so you can go watch that. But when we wake up and we say, I'm going to live my life with the intention of being remembered by people who are not even here yet, who have not even been thought of yet, who are so young, if you will, that they are not even yet a zygote within the testicles of their parental. That is a problem. I mean, there's nothing wrong with wanting to do good and wanting to, just not let anything get to you. There's nothing wrong with that inherently at all. It's whenever and there's nothing wrong with making it a lifestyle. Let me get that straight here. It is whenever you go around and you're trying to make other people remember you because of those things. You don't want them to remember you because, yeah, he was really kind. He was so nice. He'd give you the shirt off his back. And he would do so without any kind of, begrudgingness. But no, you want them to remember that, yeah, I want you to remember these things that I said. I want to be written down in history. That's all I care about in life. Then are you really doing what you're doing for those people or even for yourself? No. Because let's face it, being written down in the history books, you know that you will be dead. You know that you are not doing that for yourself. Who are you doing it for? As like I said, people who aren't even alive yet, or people who, by the time you're dead, they will be very close to being dead. That is the kind of thing that I wanted to talk about today, was this profoundness. This idea of, bro, that is so deep, man. Let me get another hit off of that. That's the kind of things that I wanted to talk about. It is 2020. Yes, we do have a pandemic outside. Yes, we have, good leaders, bad leaders. Apparently Kim has died. Maybe not. Nobody knows. Not for sure anyway. I mean, except for Kim. But this is nothing new, okay? This whole, bro, that's so deep. Or, man, that's far out. Or, anything like that. Or, oh my, that's a good wisdom. I should write that down in my notebook tonight. None of that is new. All of this is something that's been brought up and, again, regurgitated, spit out. As we know, if you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day, and if you teach him to fish, he'll just come back to you. I mean, that has been turned into so many different sayings that, what's the original saying? Do we know? I mean, I would argue that we know the first half of that because, that's kind of the format. But aside from that, do we really know what it is? Do we really care? Or do we want to be able to change something so much that we are the ones who are remembered as being the profound, the great one, the expert of life and wisdom? That's the kind of crap that people are living their lives for. I mean, there's nothing wrong, like I said, with wanting to say things that are going to make people think, that are going to make people say, I hadn't thought of that, but what you said, that's a great idea. That's what we're going to do in this company. Anything like that. There's nothing wrong with that. The problem is whenever you quit doing it for yourself and for the people who are alive now, and when you start doing it for, like I said, people who aren't even here. There's no grand hall in heaven for certain. I know this. There's no grand hall in heaven where all of the famous people get to hang out. Like, there's no funky sushi bar up there. I don't know what other religions believe, but I can tell you in heaven, that's not going to happen. You get up there, hey, congrats, man. Sorry you died. Good luck. That's basically it. But here on earth, while you are here, once you're dead, you're dead. And that's it. There's nothing more to it. So maybe next time you hear someone, start saying, well, as you know, there's, something that grandma used to say, or something that so-and-so whoever used to say, or they start trying to say something profound, maybe think, okay, maybe, yeah, but does this person actually believe what they say? I mean, random people, sure, it's very hard to gauge, but people we all know Uncle Joe. And Uncle Joe, this is not a thing against, the candidate Joe. This is just an example. We all have, the Uncle Joe or the Uncle Bob, as we all have. We all have that uncle who runs around and says, you should go to church every Sunday. You should be polite to everyone. And then they're, out doing this, that, and the third. Well, okay, whatever you say, Uncle Joe. You ain't talking what you're preaching. And that's what I mean here. Is like you have the people who run around and they're like, "Oh, look, you should be doing this, and here is my deep analysis." Okay, yeah, whatever you say, I know how you live your life. I mean, obviously you shouldn't want to be like that, but the people who are like that are also usually the people who are running around, "Look at me, I'm so profound. I'm so, whatever." And that's a load of garbage. Let's be honest. That's crap. That's all it is just crap. But I mean, if you want to say things that are profound, sure. I mean, you have that right. Nobody's going to stop you. And I think it's good to make people think. I think it's good to say things that'll make you think. What I don't think it's good to, like I said, is to live your life with that intention. To make the simple-minded say, "Man, that's so deep," and then they never give it a second thought. I mean, let's be honest. We've all typed LOL and had the stone face. But that is where I digress. So I leave you with this thought. Maybe don't intentionally force the profound. Maybe just let it happen. When things come up, grandma used to say this, mama used to say this. I remember reading this in a book. Here is a plan, here's an idea. You know, maybe, and I'm not saying don't let yourself think, make yourself think, but maybe don't try to force it, especially in times where it's not needed. That's all I've got for today. I hope that you liked what you heard today. If you did, you know, do the liking, the subscribing, the sharing, hit the bell for the notifications, all of that. Hit me up on Twitter. Hit me up on. You can hit me up on Reddit. You can hit me up on Minds. I have a Minds account where I occasionally post an article or two written by moi. So hit me up. Hit me up with your best memes. Hit me up with your thoughts, your comments. But for now, goodbye and good luck.